to get started to see which one can be the most retarded. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, don't tell them what to say. Tinfoil haters are here to save the day. To get started to see which one can be the most retarded. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show.
Finally, welcome to another episode of Tinfoil Haters. How are all you vital idols doing? Let me tell you guys, it has been a bitch of the last 24 to 48 fucking hours. Between the bad weather, the fact that I had to fucking cancel my show, and I was like, whatever, I'll be on Nick's show. Nick had to cancel his show, and then Kata hits me up, and he's like, hey, I have to cancel on, what new Black Street, so you and Sebby may have to go with the Treyas. And then Treyas like, nah, we're gonna cancel. And then Cindy had to cancel. The last 24-ish hours have fucking sucked, guys. But we in it to win it today. The weather cleared up around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was like, yes, we're back, and we're gonna talk about the Psyop that nobody talks about. But I can't do it alone. I got my partner in crime, Sammy 3P. Tell the people who you are and what you do.
I'm Sammy 3P. I'm a Detroit-based musician, but sometimes I'm on the interwebs. And if you would like to find out more, you can follow me on Twitter or head on over to my my YouTube channel and my Rebel channel.
And his mic is working, which we love to see. His fucking mic is working. Speaking of mic working, Sinavir, you want me?
Fuck off, buddy. Hey guys, I'm Sinavir. I like to talk about anime, gaming, and on the occasion, a little bit of horror. I am still facing some really terrible weather advisory. I do not know if I'll be streaming tonight or tomorrow, for that matter. Weather is seriously nuts. But keep an eye out for me. I will try my very, very best to stream tonight at the very least.
You'll love to see it. I'm gonna say out the gate, guys. I'm gonna say out the gate because I am, of course, a filthy fucking grifter. I'm a disgusting, horrible grifter. I may as well be Jewish. But since I missed out on the grift yesterday, don't forget to drop some coins in the Psyop awareness meter. Let's fill the Psyop awareness meter bar here. Who we got up in this bitch? Let's see. We got Jack SG22 in the house. Matt Stanford is here. C Brew Zelozy. Loomis Anonymous coming in saying me y'all. That darn otaku is here. Dylan B. Krovax, who just was eviscerating some dumb motherfucker who was calling himself and me woke for not believing that Michael Jackson touched kids. What the fuck's going on with that? So yeah, Krovax, you did good work. I followed you. I was already following you, but I was following you very carefully during that whole nonsense. God, this fucking Canadian was calling me and Krovax woke for saying we're fans of Michael Jackson.
Well, dude, I changed my opinion on that years ago. Like
I never held that opinion, and
I haven't either.
Age to be fondled by that man.
I was like, if anything, like I watched the interviews and I was like, I think he's just autistic.
Yeah, well, I would say like stunted, but yes, exactly. He was just stunted. But damn, we could have done an episode on Michael Jackson. I didn't even think about it. Instead, we're talking about Hollywood when we could have been talking about
No, you still can. You just don't have the prep.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Sammy and I know enough about the Michael Jackson shit. We could probably just riff and make a whole episode on that. Let's see. We got Philip Morgan in the house. How you doing? Gal Carrymon is here. Soul Assassin. Amanda up in this bitch. Jake Martin says, they control Hollywood. Finally doing the Hebrew episode. That's why I love Leon. Here's the thing. I don't know who actually has more power, the Jews or the CIA. Like I'm truly on the fence at this point about who's more powerful, the Jews or the CIA. It is quite the conundrum with some of the stuff that we're gonna go over today. C Brew, in case I didn't call him out, Johnny Boy is here. We got the Kocho Dragon. Can't forget about our people over on Kick. Lithium, shout out to Lithium. We already called out Jake, but I'm calling it again. Jake, motherfucking Martin. Zalozzi. I may be calling out some of you guys twice now. I don't even know. I've just been on a motherfucking roll. Who else we got here? Melt the Sky, open his bitch. Subtle deviancy for a 2-banger. Is it true that Hondo was a CIA asset that he was exited? So here's the dealio. If Hondo was a CIA asset, I like to believe, like, you ever watched one of them spy movies and the spy is like, he's got to get like close with a female, or even a male, but it's just be a friendship thing.
Honeypot.
But yeah, well, like they're supposed to be like keeping tabs on somebody, but then they actually like do fall in love with them. They're compromised, you know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, really, this was supposed to just be for work, but now my feelings have become real. Like, I want to feel like that's the effect I had on Hondo. He was sent in by the government to spy on me. And then we really did become best friends. And he was like, I'm going to abandon the CIA for you, Leon. And then they took him the fuck out.
Oh,
Shout out. Thanks for the 2-banger, Subtle. Thanks for bringing that up. A Kick in the Nuts. What is up? Shout out to Kick in the Nuts. I think we already called out Amanda, but we'll say hello again. Devil in Red over on Kick. Joda, shamelessly here because of Cindy, as he should be. She is my partner.
Hi, Joda.
So, yes. Scotty G with a 5-banger saying it's a psyop is a psyop. That is true. We got ops within ops. We got size within size. The Wayfarer is here. Janice Landers up in his bitch. Nick Havoc. Old man Cad. JKM. How you doing, JKM? Banana Bala Kang with a 2-banger. The CIA is ran by a woman just like you. All right, I'm going to need you to shut your whore fucking mouth. I'm the one in charge in that bitch. Less's Games is here. And then Banana Bala Kang for a 2-banger says also, hey, Cindy.
Hey, Eric.
Devil in Red, Leon call it. Yeah, getting called out on this bitch. Banana Bala Kang with a 2-banger. How dare y'all not give us content, dude? The weather. I was terrified of my computer getting fried. Like, here's how terrified I was of my computer getting fried. I was on the internet so little yesterday, which is absurd for me. I didn't know that Ilhan Omar said World War XI until today.
Oh my God.
What?
Wait, you guys didn't hear that?
No, I know it.
Okay, all right. Quick detour of the show.
Yeah,
I gotta pull this up.
We have to show.
I gotta pull this up since Cindy didn't see this. Let me see if I can find the clip.
This is the soundbite of the decade.
It is truly like the greatest case for deportations ever fucking made.
Just when you thought it couldn't get dumber than bananas and rice.
I know.
All right, Cindy, you
Yes.
need to listen to this.
I'm listening. I'm even turning up my volume now. Okay, go for it.
The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
That's dumb, bitch.
I swear, if that does not make even the leftists be like, okay, maybe deportations are on the table, I don't know what will. Holy fuck.
I wonder if the government's going, okay, maybe the Somalis might not have been the best choice for this particular psyop.
Oh, and then Tim Walz is out there claiming, like, trying to take credit for the Somalian fraud raids happening today.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Like he discovered them.
Yeah, Banana Baba Kang for a 2-banger. Yeah, we skipped the first 10, went straight to 11. I really hope that's supposed to be like a Spinal Tap reference.
Yes.
And that's why you're saying it, because like we did have 2, so we didn't skip the first 10. We went 1, 2, and then to 11. Yes.
I now no longer worry about any scuff I ever have on stream. This bitch has me beat.
Dude. And you know,
the best part is the people trying to defend her.
For. So shout out, thank you guys for all the super chats. This is for you.
How you doing, sir? Can we talk to you? Where are you from? You live in New York?
Who are you?
Don Lemon.
You're a fucking moron, dude.
What were you about to say, Sammy?
There's been people going like, well, it's debatable because there's been so many global skirmishes. She
No,
might
people are
technically-
trying to actually make her thing
Yeah,
make
dude.
sense.
I'm sorry, but if you say shit like that, you're just as retarded as she is.
That's where I was just like, dude, you people are just broken. Like, I was like, if you can't set yourself aside to criticize your party by that much, then your opinion is no longer valid.
I agreed. Well, to be fair, if you were a leftist, your opinion was no longer valid.
Yeah,
to begin with.
absolutely.
But yes, shout out. We got Johnny Boy, member for 7 months. Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
Brought to you by the Quality Larynx Center. Yup. Agreed. Thank you for 7 months of membership, homie. OJ was clear evidence he did it. The gloves didn't fit because he had his fingers stretched out. Plus, he had gloves already on his hands while trying to wear them in court. There's also the gloves had been I believe was it dry cleaned or they've been thrown in the dryer, which caused them to shrink. Like,
Yeah, and he also stopped taking his arthritis medication that caused his hands to swell up.
I think that's what Krovax meant when he said his hands stretched. But yeah,
his lawyers advised him to do that, like, because they were like, but they also thought there's no way this guy's
Jewish
dumb
lawyers,
enough.
baby, Jewish fucking lawyers.
Well, they also thought there's no way this guy's dumb enough to get him to try on like this blood-soaked glove, because obviously, like, the blood has dried, it's not going to look like it fit, and they goaded him into it. So, I mean, that was a triumph for sleazy lawyers everywhere.
Agreed, bro. There's so many Jews were watching the trial, like so many 10, 11, 12-year-old Jews being like, that's going to be me when I grow up, baby. Settle demons for a 5-banger. I was once arrested in college for peeing in a newspaper dispensary. To this day, I think it was a CIA operation took me down. I got a wrist slap. Shout out, Settle. Thank you so much, homie. That being said, I don't ever want to see posts about people pissing again. Delete that shit right now.
With a
It's quite the
shotgun?
shock. I was going to say quite the shotgun.
I'm gonna be real. I have not actually used that clip yet, and that was just my test to see if it would get the stream taken down. It's like, because we've been taken down for guns before. What about Sonic holding an animated shotgun? Will that take us the fuck down?
No, that's a different kind of gun in disguise.
Yes,
that's true. Yeah. Zelozy, member for 10 months. Gee, YouTube, can I send this message? Well, seems like you can. Alrighty, crew.
I did it.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about some shit. I'm gonna be real.
No, Jake. No.
When I grow up, I'm gonna be just like Alan Dershowitz.
No, dude. No. Go to your closet and pray.
So we got this article right here, and if you guys were unaware of this situation, the CIA in Hollywood, how the agency shapes film and television by Tricia Jenkins. This is from 2015. I believe this book was released in 2012. Oh, no, sorry. University of Texas Press 2013. We're going to read a little bit of an excerpt from this. I'm going to read some excerpts from some other stuff. Then we're going to react to a video. Though everyone should surely prefer otherwise, public relations crisis is part of CIA's ordinary business. The fact that so much of this work is classified puts the agencies in one of those tricky plumber-like governmental roles. When it does its job right, no one should notice. But when it screws up, there's a mess and things smell awful. The nature of any covert enterprise is rigged against popularity. The agency can't ordinarily brag about its hard-won success or even update Americans with news of general competence. The FBI, by contrast, gets to issue press releases detailing high-profile arrests and convictions. But with rare exceptions, the CIA hits the front page only when something has gone badly sideways. This asymmetry naturally gives rise to an image problem. So the CIA needs a way of loopholing it wants to shape public perception. Fiction about the agency, particularly television and movies, is the most potent and cultural shaping mediums has turned out to be a loophole, but it has its risks. So with this statement alone, with this opening preamble, where do you think we're going with this? Cindy, let's ask you first, and then because I'm sure Sammy already.
God dang it! Don't pick me first. I was setting everything up, so I wasn't listening.
Sammy, would you like to enlighten the Dragon Lady?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So basically, you know, if you do things right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all.
That's how the CIA should operate in theory. However, we've spent, this is episode 56. What would you say? About maybe half of our episodes have to do with, the CIA and shit like that. Needless to say, they don't have a very good track record for doing shit right. So
they're a D student at best.
Right. So this entire episode, Cindy, is basically going to be teaching you guys and showing you guys how the CIA makes you forget that they've done things like test radiation poisoning on children and killed American citizens by putting out movies that are cool that make CIA look badass.
What the fuck? I never even correlated the two. I was just,
Yes,
fictional.
the CIA does in fact have a hand in Hollywood and making itself look fucking awesome so that we can forget about the fact that they are a government-sanctioned terrorist organization.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Depending on who you ask, Hollywood has been either a great friend or a persistent foe of the CIA's quest for a better public image. Some might point to media characterizations of the CIA as rogue, hapless, or immoral institution. Just a few weeks ago, the agency's request, New York Times columnist Maureen Dowd talked about members of Langley's Sisterhood who were fed up with the flock of fictional CIA women in movies and TV who guzzle alcohol as they bed hop and drone drop, acting crazed and emotional, sleeping with terrorists and seducing assets, which, by the way, they can get up and say spaghetti at that all they want. That is absolutely how fucking female spies do shit. That's well documented. There are plenty of those female spies out there that use their seductive feminine wiles to get information. I mean, why would they be upset spaghetti about that? Unless, again, CIA nowadays is ran by a bunch of leftist homos. But
Well, yeah, you had that one guy who's in charge of some kind of major thing that got caught leaking secrets to a reporter because she has beautiful eyes.
I'll be real.
yeah.
I'm gonna need you to be so like I'm sure that's happened so many times. I'm gonna need you.
No,
to
this
go-
happened. This happened this month.
Yeah, this happened like
Oh,
2 days ago, 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
yeah. Since day one, well before the CIA was a thing. Agreed, Jake. Sorry, go on, Sammy.
Yeah, what is it? O'Keefe exposed him. I can't remember what his exact position was.
Yeah, I think I do know what you're talking about because I actually had it saved in my bookmarks to cover on an episode of TFH. This was last month, like at the end of March or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know the story you're talking about now.
Oh no, in Soul Assassin, you're thinking of Fang Fang, with who's that dipshit? From California.
Yeah, the California guy.
Swalwell.
What was his name?
Swalwell.
Yeah, Eric Swalwell. Yes. But more probing critics might highlight that the romanticized representation of spies in film has in fact been a boon to the intelligence community. Audiences are probably seduced rather than judgmental when fictional CIA officers fall short of their perfect virtue. Homeland's Carrie Matheson may not be a Girl Scout or a realistic CIA officer, but there's no question that viewers are on her side. They care about her more than her buttoned-up colleagues precisely because of her flaws humanize her. The agency and everyone who likes spy movies should hope Maureen Dowd's column wasn't too persuasive because no one wants to watch a show about unmarred professionalism and competence. They watch The Americans instead. Now, let's get to what they're actually doing. Here's an anecdote. 20 years ago, following the collapse of the USSR and the Aldrich Ames scandal, there was skeptical chatter about the CIA's continued usefulness. Representative Dan Glickman, then chairman of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, and Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan both publicly questioned whether the CIA should have a future. The agency met this image problem turned existential threat by commissioning the network television show called The Classified Files of the CIA. It was to be modeled on the 1960s FBI image vehicle, the FBI, and it would feature a real declassified CIA case each week. Langley would feed fact patterns to producers who would use them as a basis for a story and sell the show based in part on its authenticity. Now, Zenny, were you paying attention to that part?
I'm gonna go with no.
Yes.
Your silence says it all.
Yes.
All right. What do you think this means?
Give me a second. I'm reading.
While you read that, I'm going to hit this super chat real quick, and then we'll come back to you. Sell deviancy for a five-banger. The CIA placed surveillance cameras and devices in Cindy's chest to monitor actual masculine men for the Democratic Party. Doesn't understand men. Shout out. Appreciate you, homie. All right.
There's so many big words in here. My brain's going, you're not awake enough for this shit. What the fuck?
Okay, I'll explain it to you. I'll
Yes,
explain it
give
to
me
you
the-
real simple like.
Okay.
So, back in about 20 years after the fall of the USSR, there were some politicians who were basically saying, I don't think we need the CIA anymore. And the CIA's way to get around that and to drum up public support for them was to commission a full-on produced TV show about declassified CIA case files, showing how awesome they are. Basically the CIA paid to have an entire pro-CIA propaganda TV show made to convince people the CIA is awesome, because politicians were like, maybe we don't need them anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a way to save your job, because it clearly worked.
Banana Bomber King with a two-banger says, go on, Sunny. We'll wait for your opinion.
Shut up, Eric.
The classified files of the CIA never made it to air after the agency and the show's producers, Steve Titch and Aaron Spelling, parted ways over creative differences. But Jenkins' account of the concept is even a little accurate. The never-seen 2-hour pilot episode sounds like a masterpiece of clunky and humorless propaganda that was, for the agency's sake, probably best kept classified. Later, after this failed attempt to micromanage professional Hollywood micromanagers, Langley opted for a lighter touch. Rather than developing its own content, it began reaching out to filmmakers already working on agency-related projects and offering them insider expertise and sometimes use of the CIA's facilities, equipment, and official seal in exchange for some influence over how the agency would be portrayed. Do you understand that part, my dear?
They are doing more underhanded tactics to make sure that this works, even though nobody saw the pilot.
Correct. Sammy, what are some of those tactics? Can you explain it to our girl in further detail?
Yeah, just making them look admirable, making it humanizing. These characters probably, I don't know, there's probably repeat characters, things like that.
No. You guys are missing the big picture here. What this is saying, let's say I'm Steven Spielberg, because of course I would have to pick a Jew. And I want to use a story about the CIA, and I need some realistic CIA writing. Maybe I need to shoot on location. Maybe I need to use the official CIA seal in my movie. So the CIA basically says, yeah, we're going to give you permission. Well, hey, we'll give you an advisor to make sure the writing is correct. We'll let you shoot on location in our facilities, but we get a hand in the script.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, they're still controlling the information that's coming out. I mean,
exactly. This is happening because people say that the Jews control Hollywood, and by and large, the Jews might control the money in Hollywood. But when it comes to shit that got the CIA involved, by the way, it's not even the CIA. The CIA was involved in fucking America's Got Talent. But we'll get to that in a little bit, because this entire stream is really just an excuse for me to react to this video. I've been wanting to react to this for ages, and I've not found a stream where it would work. Your favorite movies are CIA propaganda. We got The Shining here. We got The Avengers. We got fucking Terminator. How deep does this rabbit hole go? Let's hit these super chats real quick. Then we will find out. Stop highlighting stuff so that I can. There we go. Cinny is a CIA plant honeypot. I fell for hook, line, sinker if that be the case. And it's Solid Demons a two-banger. Sammy is from Detroit and intelligent CIA asset. What? Sammy's from Detroit and intelligent? Oh, I get it. CIA asset.
Yeah.
As in, you can't be from Detroit and be smart. Makes sense. Yeah.
You know what? He's not wrong.
The CIA say it ain't so. Now, let's start this, and if at any point you have some commentary you want me to pause, let me know.
Favorite films and TV shows that you weren't allowed to see. Scripts were rewritten, scenes were cut, endings were changed, and characters were altered.
They had stamped top secret on the top and the bottom and the sides in the margins of every single page. And I said, guys, this is not top secret. This is a Hollywood movie. It's already on video. It's done.
I'm talking children's animations with rewritten endings, comedy films you've never heard of with deleted scenes, superhero franchises built in secretive contracts, and a screenwriter who tried to tell the wrong story and was found dead with both hands missing.
It's not an accident that every...
You're muted.
No, you said what the fuck. I was waiting for you to go on.
No, why would he be killed and have his hands missing? That's just so extreme.
To send a message.
Well, not only that, but if I had to wager a guess, probably to make it look like a mob hit or something, so that people didn't link about it to the CIA. Now I don't know. I've never seen this video. I don't know the story he's referring to, but that would be my guess.
Oh
The
my god.
Hollywood movie about the CIA is pro-CIA.
This has been running since the 1940s. What started with Walt Disney producing propaganda shorts for the military has now evolved into a formal permanent operation, one that now reaches in.
For those that don't know, Walt Disney, based as fuck, was a government informant on commies in Hollywood.
We need more of those. Okay, we need to
Agreed.
go back to that.
Yes.
Dude, Walt Disney fucking hated commies. He was a fucking like look, y'all know I don't like the government, but I hate commies so much goddamn more. And
I
knowing
hate 'em
Walt
way
Disney
more.
was a government informant on fucking Hollywood commies is based as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
To the biggest franchises on the planet, and it hasn't stopped expanding from there. When John Kiriakou, a CEI whistleblower,
Yes, no, go ahead to Crowback's post, please. I missed positive message propaganda. That was literally, I picked this shirt because of that. I was like, I want to wear a Superman shirt on today's show for positive propaganda. Absolutely.
Good choice.
who went to prison for exposing the torture program, was asked on the Diary of a CEO how the agency would hypothetically design an influence campaign. This was his answer.
You would have to have a goal that would be specific enough that you could actually track the progress to it. It has to be a message. You've got to be able to get a specific, well-honed message out there. And the message can be anything. It could be, love the CIA, we're the good guys. It could be support the overthrow of the Iranian government. It could be, any criticism of Benjamin Netanyahu is anti-Semitism. It could be anything you want it to be.
I see some big words in here. Cindy, why don't you read this?
Oh, God damn it. Hollywood was founded by both the Babylonian Talmudic banker goblins and Crowleyan magicians who believed in Lucifer and committed to magical rituals to summon the Scarlet Woman of Babylon. I
Okay.
have no idea what the fuck I just read.
I don't
Talmudic
either, but I
and
think you might
Crowleyan.
need to roll persuasion or roll for a deception check or something, because that was some very D&D-ass shit.
That was the Talmudic and
Talmudic?
Crowleyan.
I wasn't sure about Talmudic. I thought I was right, but yeah, I did know Crowleyan.
Yeah, I've never heard of these.
How new is this video? I think it's like 2 months old. Sorry, 2 weeks old.
Oh, that's not
Oh
bad.
wow.
Damn.
Yeah, this video is very new. I've had my watch later literally since the moment it dropped. But I haven't had a good time on stream to react to it. And so I was like, you know what? We do a conspiracy theory show.
Yeah.
I'm just going to use that as a mechanism for finally getting around to watching this fucking video. But we will, of
Stop.
course, be adding our own stuff, and I have other sources to bring up and whatnot as well. We're not just stealing this guy's video and calling it a podcast episode.
You just have to make sure that it's repeated enough.
He mentions a couple of things there that are highly relevant right now. Take Argo, an Oscar-winning film that almost everyone has heard of. The plot follows a CIA officer who poses as a Hollywood producer to smuggle 6 American diplomats out of Iran. All
I'm so glad he brings this up, because in one of my in one of the sources I have for commentary, if you go to spyculture.com, the CIA in Hollywood, and it's literally the movie Argo is the fucking thumbnail for this blog.
Huh.
I mean, it makes sense.
yeah, it really does.
Solid Demons Zebra 2-banger. Kata is an MK Ultra Little People CIA operative. I don't think that's the case whatsoever.
He walks under the radar.
Say that again.
He walks under the
Oh,
radar.
he walks under the radar. No, I just look. I've spent enough time with Kata at IRL at this point between Vegas and between Orlando. I don't think homie could hold his acid. I'm gonna be real. I don't think homie could hold his acid. I think Atreus
Yeah.
could. I don't think Kata could hold his acid.
I don't know. We all saw
During the
Kate
night.
on those, or we all saw Atreus on those edibles.
That's I mean, Atreus certainly can't hold his liquor. But I think he can hold his acid.
1979 hostage crisis. As you can imagine, the CIA is unambiguously the hero. There's barely a single mention of the CIA's overthrow of Iran's democratically elected government, or the installing of a dictator who ruled with a secret police force trained by the CIA. And given
Yo, I hope to God this Moon guy has never made his fucking face public. I hope he uses like 8 different VPNs when making his videos. Like,
I don't know. The CIA already knows who he is.
honestly, very possibly.
Given the current conflict in Iran, you could reasonably argue that the public's understanding of who Iran is and how we got there was influenced in part by films exactly like this. During filming, Affleck visited CIA headquarters multiple times, sat in round tables in the director's conference room, and even emailed the agency promising to do the agency proud. The CIA had actually been promoting the Argo operation as a suggested movie plot on their own website years before the film was made, and even thanked Affleck publicly on
Well, that's interesting. The CIA had been trying to publicly drum up support for a super pro CIA movie for years.
What a wiki dink.
Yeah, what's that called? Is it predictive programming or is it conditioning?
It's both.
I mean, yeah, it might actually be both. There is a term for it, and I'm kicking myself for not remembering the exact term. I believe it's predictive programming, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's social conditioning. Maybe I'm confusing with social conditioning.
Social conditioning also works. I mean,
But-
all 3 of those terms work for what it is.
What's so fucked up is none of this shit is some dark secret. It's all done right out in the open, and that's the genius of it, though, Jake. The best way to hide something isn't to hide something. It's to make it blend in right out there in the open. If you got yourself a piece of hay and you want to hide it, you put it in the haystack. I mean, is that fucking simple? Resident Evil's a master at this, bro. If you need to find yourself some motherfucking like deer antlers to use a key in a door, then you're gonna just put the fucking taxidermy deer in a room with a bunch of other taxidermy deers.
Oh my goodness.
Subtle Demon Sleeper, a 2-banger, last super chat before heading to bed. Night panel. Catch you later, Subtle. It was nice to see you here live instead of the after show. Not after show, but like in the watch later. Always appreciate having you, absolute legend. Thank you so much.
Night, sweetie.
Saw Donald Duck propaganda for World War II. Oh, dude, yeah. It was so good. What bananas and rice girl called World War 11? Yup.
Twitter for the film. Affleck said this when interviewed as part of the press tour.
Are there many actors in Hollywood who also moonlight as agents, do you think?
I think there are probably quite a few, yes. I think probably Hollywood is full of CIA agents, and we just don't know it.
But Argo's only the surface, and
now what's interesting about that is it sounds just like a cheeky, funny, offhand comment. But I would be remiss if I didn't bring up some of Affleck's recent comments as well. Affleck, pretty based individual. I mean, I'm sure he's a Hollywood woke lefty in terms of like tranny shit and whatnot. But
He had some pretty shitty takes on Islam.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that from like when he was talking to Sam Harris and whatnot on Bill Maher back in the day. Yeah, I remember that. And yeah, he had very shitty takes on Islam. But he said right there, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of CIA guys in the in Hollywood and we just don't know. Well, interestingly enough, when it comes to recent comments about AI, do you know what he said?
What did he say?
He's a huge proponent of AI in Hollywood. He's like, hey, it's a tool. If you don't use it, you're going to get left behind. Now, don't get me wrong. That is true. He's objectively correct. However, very interesting that he's going against the grain against most of his other Hollywood hotshot buddies who think that AI is the fucking death of the world. He's out here promoting the CIA. He's saying he's pro-AI.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. Granola Grin becoming a member all on his own. What a fucking legend. Thank you so much. And then we have whoops.
Wasn't he
Evan what? Evan Hawkenfurs? Evan. Who's gonna call you Evan? Two kinds of stealth exist. The first one is the one that everyone thinks of, to not be seen. The second and more effective form of stealth instead is to be seen but not noticed or perceived as normal. Bingo, bango, bongo. That is exactly what I was getting at. Yes. Thank you for the 10-banger, and thank you, Granola Grin, for becoming a member. I think we owe you guys a clip. Let's go with this one.
I'm loving the game. The game would absolutely get a pretty high score from me.
How many bananas?
A solid 8.5 incher for sure.
That's I didn't what? No.
And wouldn't it be nice to live together?
Shout out. Thank you for the donos. Thank you for becoming a member. You guys are all absolute legends. Let's keep going.
You'll be shocked about where exactly the strategy operates in Hollywood, the films it touches, and how smart it truly is. Take the original script for The Hulk. The canon storyline, as per the comic, involved Bruce Banner being transformed after a US military program gone wrong. It also included dialogue referencing Operation Ranch Hand, a real program that sprayed roughly 20 million gallons of chemical herbicides, including Agent Orange over Southeast Asia, poisoning a possible 4 million people. Both details were removed purposefully by CIA advisors. This is according to leaked files seen by The Conversation. They then changed.
The CIA had infiltrated the MCU from at the very earliest, the second fucking movie. Because you gotta remember, the Hulk is the second movie in the MCU.
Yes,
You
it
got
is.
Iron Man, then Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America. Was that the order they were released in? I'm pretty sure. Point is,
I can't
Hulk
remember
was
if
the second
Captain
one.
America is before Thor, but yeah.
Yeah. And maybe, to be fair, they could be going back even further. They could be talking about the Eric Bana Hulk movie. For
Yeah,
all I
they
know.
could be talking about Ang Lee.
And they made the agents look really cool. Like Coulson looks still looked pretty cool. Like silly at first, but then really cool for his death scene and stuff. And then they had Nick
Fury. Which,
yeah.
granted, that's Shield, not the CIA. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, what's the fucking difference? They're
Yeah.
making
Seriously.
government ops look cool.
the origin story to a lab experiment gone wrong instead because they couldn't risk anti-
Oh, is the Eric Bana one. Okay, so it's the Eric Bana one. This is the one from 2003, so it goes back even earlier.
government sentiment in a franchise of this size. In the Transformers films, a Pentagon liaison inserted specific dialogue instead of removing it. In one scene just after American troops had been attacked by a deception robot, he added the line "bring him home" to reinforce US military values.
First of all, Decepticons, not Deceptions, Decepticons.
Yes.
But, I mean, that's how far the CIA is willing to go. They will just throw in little lines. He specified they didn't have anything removed. They added a line, "bring them home." Why? Because when you're in the fucking movie theaters and you've seen our good old, boys in blue or our troops, whatever it may be, the real American fucking heroes, and they're getting fucked up by robots, but you have somebody be like, "we're bringing our boys home." That's going to make you swell with that American pride.
You know what's
son.
crazy? If they did that now,
They do it now. But sorry, go
no,
on.
I mean more Americanized focused propaganda, like "bring them home," or I mean, like if they really,
I get where you're going
pushed
with this.
hard-
Ironically, we're craving that now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if they really pushed hard, they would absolutely radicalize a good portion of the right.
We're actually kind of seeing, you bring up a point that I hadn't thought about. We're seeing a stark contrast from the CIA of then versus the CIA of now because, again, CIA is bad no matter what. We've got some horror stories. We've covered horror stories of shit the CIA was doing in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 80s, all in past episodes of this channel. But yes, you're correct. Like, CIA always bad, but I would take this very propaganda, like, we're amazing, awesome guys. Let's go kill the brown people. I would take that version of the CIA over this fucking feminist, gay, trans juice slop CIA we have now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Numerous superhero films, including practically the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is the single biggest franchise in history, were all built on this from the ground up. Captain Marvel was granted full Air Force support. The Air Force was advertising the film on social media before Marvel had even started marketing it. Captain Marvel and Black Panther were both used directly in recruitment campaigns. The result was a documented spike in female applicants to the Air Force Academy.
Thanks. Not only the movie sucked, but it made our military weaker.
Yeah, I was gonna say that movie did terribly, and yet, I mean,
No,
like,
no, this
I know
one
it
did
did
over
well,
$1 billion.
but
Yeah.
it was awful.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fucking terrible movie.
Yeah,
but,
it,
like,
it was sandwiched in between two of the
Right.
highest grossing films of all time. So yeah, but yeah, no, it sucked.
When are we gonna get the propaganda to yeet all women out of military action of all kinds?
I'm very much waiting for that propaganda.
actually called it the Captain Marvel effect. On Iron Man, which was massively supported by the Pentagon with $1 billion worth of equipment, there were literally fights on set between the directors and the agency. A Pentagon liaison, Phil Straub, objected to a line in which a military character says, "People would kill themselves for the opportunities I have." The director, John, pushed back, and soon they were standing on the flight lines at Edwards Air Force Base with 200 crew watching. They eventually settled on they'd walk over hot coals, but even then, that didn't make the final cut. But a much weirder example is Meet the Parents, when Ben Stiller's character walks in.
And I read about this one earlier. This is the weirdest fucking example. A Ben Stiller comedy. Meet the fucking Parents? Really? That had CIA involvement?
Okie dokie.
To Robert De Niro's workplace. In the original script, he finds CIA torture manuals. That was rewritten. Now he finds photos of De Niro meeting Bill Clinton. IMDb credits Chase Brandon as a technical advisor and Milt Bearden as consultant CIA on the film, which you can see here. These examples just cover what we know for certain from a leak of 60,000 pages of documents, which confirmed the CIA has been involved in more than 2,500 productions in total.
Holy shit.
Now, here's why this is terrifying. The CIA hadn't actually hidden, sort of, that they were involved with, Hollywood media. They did, however, lie about the numbers. The CIA had been making the claims that they had been involved in roughly 600 productions. 600 and 2,500 are vastly different numbers.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And that's just the ones we know of.
Right.
Oh, man.
Pentagon runs something called the Entertainment Media Office, a formal liaison operation that works directly with Hollywood studios. They support studios financially, offer advice on sensitive topics, and lend them specialist equipment and prime filming locations. In exchange for permissions, the CIA get to read and approve the script before a single frame is shot. They also have complete veto power, and directors are obliged to follow their word. One Pentagon minder said on record, "If they don't do what I say, I take my toys and go away." A declassified CIA document released in 2019.
And that right there is why I believe that CIA, at least when it comes to Hollywood, the CIA is more powerful, or are more powerful than the Jews. More powerful. Like Jews don't run Hollywood. The Jews manage the money in Hollywood. The government runs fucking Hollywood. Now you make the argument that the Jews run the government, but that. I ain't ready for that.
Different topic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Uber confirms that, logging dozens of meetings between the CIA's Office of Public Affairs and executives from NBC, Time Warner, Viacom, Fox, Paramount, and CAA. The document covers just 2.
All right. Paul makes a good point. Each one of us, before we go forward, Cindy, we'll start with you.
I am of sound mind and body. I don't want anybody to think that I would ever off myself for any reason.
Sammy?
I'm of sound mind and body, and I am not suicidal.
I'm of sound mind and body, and I am not suicidal. That being said, when I'm about 60 or something years old, if you do see suicide by cop and my name comes up, that might just be me, not the CIA. Yeah. But any other method is the CIA. Any other method. If I die by suicide and it's not suicide by cop, it was the CIA.
Yeah. Yep. If I don't go out doing PCP in my 80s like I plan.
Years from 2014 to 2016. It includes lunches, development deals on campus filming approvals, and meetings to develop CIA-themed TV shows. The CIA has always claimed it merely answers requests on an as-needed basis. The document shows active outreach. The agency is going to the studios, not the other way around. But you have to stretch back much further to find out when this all began. Because when one of George Orwell's most important works was adapted into a movie, the CIA had the final say over its closing moments. That film is Animal Farm.
How fucking ironic.
Yeah, especially since we're having that what's his name? Seth Rogen, making his own Animal Farm.
Yeah, well, I find it funny that because you're correct about that. The irony there is palpable as well. But yes, and Lesis, yes, you are correct. As you are about to find out, the CIA does not just have a hand in Hollywood. It has a hand in the entire multimedia apparatus. And that includes movies made in other countries as well. But also, the fucking CIA getting their hands on Orwell and altering that.
That's crazy.
I mean, we gotta be living in a simulation, folks.
A classic anti-establishment story about rebelling against power. After Orwell died, the film's rights to Animal Farm were purchased by two men, and both were undercover CIA agents. This was in 1954, the height of the Cold War and the Red Scare, when the fear of communism was at its peak. The CIA funded the entire animation. They hired British animators, deliberately avoiding American studios to create distance, and because the agency distrusted Hollywood animators during the Red Scare, and they rewrote the ending. In Orwell's book, the animals look through the farmhouse window and can't tell the pigs from the humans. The line says, quote, "The creatures outside looked from pig to man, and from pig to man, and from pig to man again, but already it was impossible to say which was which." This is the whole point. Revolution replaces one set of oppressors with another. Capitalism and communism are equally corrupt. The CIA couldn't have that message going out, so their version ends with the animals triumphantly overthrowing the pigs in a second revolution. Communism bad, rebellion good, America wins by implication. See, watch how they storm the building and how it doesn't imply the same message as the book at all. It's subtle, but the new version reinforces the division between good and bad. It creates a moral precedent that corrupt systems can be overthrown and replaced with something better, which is a really comforting thought, unless you realize it's exactly the story the CIA tells every time it topples a government.
And what happens when they topple a government?
They install a new leader.
And more often than not, what's that leader end up being?
A dictator.
A dictator, a terrorist sympathizer, oftentimes a communist, as we saw happen a lot in South America. Yeah, the CIA don't got a good track record of putting the right guy in charge after they cut the head off the first fucking guy.
Huh.
Orwell's ending says the opposite, that power corrupts regardless of who holds it, and that revolution just replaces one set of oppressors with another. The director Joy Batchelor strongly opposed the change, so the CIA threatened to pull financing. The intelligence officer E. Howard Hunt, who later became involved in the Watergate scandal, said the film was, quote, "carefully tweaked to heighten the anti-communist message." Although it was originally aimed at adults,
And don't get me wrong. I'm all for an anti-commie fucking message. Yo, fuck them commies. Commies are gay. But I also don't like the fucking CIA telling me all clandestine and sneaky like to be anti-commie. I can be anti-commie on my fucking own, you three-letter corrupt faggots. I don't like it.
Well, I mean,
found its
like,
primary
they kind of did a really good job with this psyop that's going on currently with the left, right? Now we're really anti-commie. I mean, really anti-commie.
We
You know what?
be.
You might be onto something.
audience in school over the US and Europe. By then, the state and media were already deeply intertwined. Governments had correctly identified that the media was the best way to access the minds of the public. Generations of children were shown a CIA-funded film with a CIA rewritten ending, as if this was a faithful adaptation of Orwell. So you may not be surprised to learn that Disney was the testing ground for how effective propaganda could be. While it might be hard to believe today, Disney was actually going broke, and the government offered it a deal. They accepted, and within 2 years, over 90% of Disney's output, mostly propaganda, was government content. Disney characters found their way into all sorts of government materials, including 1,200 military insignia. Walt Disney even personally designed this terrifying Mickey Mouse gas mask.
I've seen that.
I'm gonna be real. I don't find this terrifying at all. I find this awesome. Dude, holy shit, this is cosplay goals. I never even thought about it. Because I love doing weird, quirky, out there throwback cosplay that like people don't fucking understand. This might be the ultimate weird, quirky throwback cosplay goal.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
or to make children less afraid during air raids. If you look at Disney films through the ages, like Snow White, The Incredibles, and Frozen, they're often said to carry some level of deliberate messaging. In a conversation between Theo Von and Robert Greene, the guy who wrote the 48 Laws of Power, Greene said they offer a singular worldview that runs through most Western mainstream media. While modern society came to describe this phenomena as woke, the more important aspect is the consent it manufactures.
And what angered me about Hollywood, people pretending to be these liberal, wonderful people in favor of all the best causes out there to create art. What bullshit. They wanted power. They loved having the power over people. They would.
It's almost like we've been saying this for the last, when was Gamergate? 24th fucking teen.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice. I feel like we're finally being recognized by people saying this.
That is true. I do have a 12-year delayed boner, yes.
Drop the woke stuff tomorrow if they can make more money doing something else. It's just about what's going to bring the buzz.
Someone upstream decides what the acceptable worldview is, and the media is passed accordingly.
But that's not where the power is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
That's the point, that the power is more important than the money.
I hate our timeline.
I want to agree with you. I do. I want to agree with you. However, our timeline does give us stuff like this right here.
Okay, fair. That's
absolutely
cool
amazing
stuff.
to meet Donald Trump and thank him for all he's done for our great nation. Pretty sure he thought he was talking to Asmongold.
Oh, damn. Was that at MegaCon? I knew I should have came out that night.
So I don't hate our timeline, but it could use some tweaks.
It could use a buffer.
The Pentagon did it with military values. The CIA did it with anti-communism. Hollywood does it now with whatever sells. The product always looks like entertainment and not ideology. These are films watched by billions, not just in the West, but worldwide. So this is also a matter of the image the world superpowers want to project. Soft power has always mattered enormously to the West. Huge military, invincible superheroes, perfect moral values, intelligence agencies that can do anything they please and always win. Now, you might be wondering what happens if someone breaks ranks and goes against the grain. Whether it's possible to subvert the CIA and inform the public of the truth. Well, there has been at least one occasion when someone tried to do exactly that. He was Gary Devore, a Hollywood screenwriter with major credits on Schwarzenegger's Raw Deal.
Banana Bomber King for a two-banger. Cindy yells, the chat goes sploosh. Which pairs very nicely with this comment right here of Angry Cindy induces an immediate boner, not delayed.
For Walken's The Dog of War and Backroads with Tommy Lee Jones and Sally Field. He was deep into a script idea that even his own wife didn't fully understand until after he was gone.
When I first moved in with Gary, he said to me, don't be alarmed if you get a call from a person from a government agency. Just take their name down and their number and don't be worried about it. In the first 4 years, there were 2 calls. And then not too long before he actually disappeared, there were several from the CIA at Langley.
It was called The Big Steal, set during the US invasion of Panama. A friend of his, Hollywood director John Irvin, had lunch with Gary a few weeks before he disappeared. He could tell that something was off.
He was troubled. Something was bothering him. He wasn't really in the conversation. He was having trouble with the script he was writing, which he talked more about not the script, but about a government very, very sensitive, inconvenient truth. He was speaking more as a journalist than he was as a screenwriter. He was talking as an investigator.
A researcher who later investigated the case, called Dr. Matthew Alford, eventually uncovered what Gary had found, and it's really dark.
The dictator of Panama, Manuel Noriega, made secret recordings in wired rooms of senior US officials having sex with underage prostitutes, male.
I'm telling you, you cannot have a position of power because unless you diddle a kid.
It's wild.
Dude, our
it's
boy
like a prerequisite.
Yep. What was that?
It's a prerequisite at this point.
Yeah, dude, our
was
boy
like,
Jeffy Yep didn't invent this shit. He just perfected it.
No, it's like, they'll be like, okay, cool. You went to Yale. Did your undergrad at Columbia? How many kids have you fondled? Those are rookie numbers. You're gonna have to up those numbers.
Here, we might have a couple in the back for you.
Yeah.
Do you have a particular flavor you like?
And
You
then
like Asian? You
bring
like
them in.
the
Jing Pao, King Pao
13?
Kwai.
and female.
Ooh,
One
guy pad.
British newspaper commented on this, and the story was then buried. And the guy who wrote it got shot by an anonymous sniper.
Gary planned to put that in a Hollywood film. He was driving home through the desert, and then that was the last anyone heard from him.
And he said, I'll see you later. I never heard from him again.
It's like Gary Devore simply vanished into thin air.
There was
Oh,
a massive
goodness.
search, foot patrols, helicopters, $100,000 reward, but 0 leads and no witnesses. He was missing for 374 days, but then his Ford Explorer was found beneath 15 feet of muddy water at the bottom of the California aqueduct, despite the aqueduct having been searched extensively. His laptop containing the script was missing, his gun was missing, and his hands were missing.
Why were his
Five the hands.
hands?
I mean, I said at the beginning that my assumption would be to make it look like a mob hit, but now I don't know.
It's a
Now,
message.
because the rest of this doesn't sound like a mob hit. So
Oh my goodness.
No, yeah,
It's-
that sounds like something only the CIA could pull off, right?
yeah,
it is a message.
John
It's-
Rambo.
It's like saying
Yeah.
this was the work of the CIA. So I wonder if like now anytime anybody is missing their hands, that's just a CIA sign.
You'll never
That or
type
Charlie
again,
the
even
Unicorn.
in the afterlife.
Cut off.
Listen, the man had his fingers removed. Why? Why?
In my own mind, feel that there is crime here. I do not feel that my husband drove off of this bridge.
Within a week of his disappearance, agents from the FBI, CIA, NSA, and DoD arrived at the family home. After an official went into his office, his computer was wiped. And here's an unlikely connection to meet the parents in other films years later. It was Chase Brandon, the CIA's entertainment industry liaison officer, who was among those at the scene. When Alfred started digging into the case years later, he received a warning to stop what he was doing and leave well alone.
You know, of course, you've received an informal or semi-formal warning from a CIA and DoD contractor who said to you, back off the CIA, you're going too far with this now.
How long before any of us here on this show get one of those calls?
Oh,
I think it'll be you since you're running the show.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be season 3.
Well, guys, if I ever just abruptly stop doing YouTube, like here's the dealio. YouTube's let me get away with a lot of shit, right? YouTube's let me get away with a lot of shit. So if I ever just stop, my account gets taken down, I want you all to assume that it was not YouTube. It wasn't censorship. It wasn't the woke mob. It was the fucking government.
Mm-hmm.
I
People can and will ruin your life and come knocking on mine and your doors.
A former White House official from the Reagan and George Bush administrations confirmed that Devore harbored a deep-rooted relationship with the agency and considered the case as the hallmarks of a cover-up. The CIA declined to comment on the entire situation, and the case officially remains open. So that's the other side of the coin. What potentially happens when the CIA's veto isn't obeyed? We don't really know the truth of what happened, but it does show you that you shouldn't mess around with topics not sanctioned.
We know the truth. I'm sorry. When you've been doing this as long as we have, we know the truth. The CIA got this motherfucker whacked because he would have blown the lid on the fact that what he's doing is basically a documentary where American diplomats were fucking kids. This is 20 years before Epstein.
Agreed.
Oh my goodness.
By the agency. As for the impact this all has on society, Theo and Joe Rogan were very perceptive about how it can change public perception.
So in World War one of the problems that they had was people didn't want to be over there killing people.
Yeah.
And so people were shooting, but they weren't shooting at the actual enemy. And so then they realized, well, we've got to do something about that. And so after that, they started creating all these really patriotic war movies where the guys are heroes, they go over and they shoot all the bad guys, and then they're awesome. So then the next group of people that go to war are all going to be indoctrinated with these films.
John Kiriakou thinks that nowhere has that indoctrination been more effective or more dangerous than in warming the population up to the idea of torture.
One thing that bothers me the most is when Hollywood perpetuates the myth that torture prevented acts of terrorism or disrupted acts of terrorism. And to me, that myth is dangerous in that it affects public opinion. You can put whatever euphemism you want on it. You can call it enhanced interrogation technique. I don't care what you call it. What we did to some of those people was just illegal.
Kiriakou would know. He's the only CIA officer who ever went to prison over the torture program.
I objected to the CIA.
Which again, I have issues with this guy.
Wait. Wasn't this the guy that was gonna go on Hassan Piker's show and then he said no? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
While that was hilarious and based and funny as hell, I did a deep dive into him. We covered him. It's probably been a month, 2 months ago on my stream. I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all. He is still involved in some way, shape, or form. Whether he's still on government payroll, whether he's a contractor, I don't know. But he is out there. In my opinion, he is participating in the op. He is out there trying to. Basically, my theory is that he is a paid op by the CIA to make the CIA look bad, to make him look more trustworthy, so that we can have trust in whistleblowers when really everything he said is controlled.
Yeah, otherwise he wouldn't still be here.
And that's what I said. If he was not under some sort of leash, he wouldn't be alive to say these things.
Yeah, and none of this would have seen the light of day.
Exactly. Dude, we're over here reacting to how the CIA controls fucking Iron Man movies. You think they're just gonna let this be out there?
Yeah, yeah, no shit. They were like, oh no, tweak this line. Yeah, just go on and say whatever you want.
Use of so-called enhanced interrogation techniques, which I believe to be torture. And I went public with that information in December of 2007. All this time, by the way, I'm waiting for somebody to come out and say something. And nobody said anything. As a result, I was prosecuted and served 30 months in prison. But I'm glad I did. Somebody had to do it.
This is especially true in the film Zero Dark 30, which is about capturing Osama bin Laden. John Kiriakou thinks it's the strongest example of making the CIA look clean from every angle.
Zero Dark 30. So Zero Dark...
Banana Bomber King with a fire banger. If you think pouring diesel on a cloth or a face doesn't work, you bug. That is true, by the way. That is true. Me and my buddy Brody, way back in high school, fucking waterboarded each other just for fun to see what it was like. That shit sucks, bro.
Yeah,
that
I was gonna be like, yeah, it's no fun.
What the fuck? Why would you do that for fun? You know what, guys? They're men.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't want to hear about like you criticizing guys having fun when you women out there be doing some whack ass women shit. Y'all do the whole Mean Girls and 13 going on 30 shit for kicks. All we did was give ourselves a little bit of some waterboarding.
Yeah, no. If waterboarding like brought out more color in your cheeks, women would be waterboarding themselves every day.
They call that look maxing, okay?
Yeah. It's called lying, and it's been around since the dawn of time.
Dark 30, I think, is the most egregious example of CIA interference in Hollywood.
The CIA gave the filmmakers classified briefings over a classified mock-up of the bin Laden compound. The film essentially pushed that the torture program is what led them to bin Laden. Kiriakou says that's a complete lie.
This was a film that the CIA made a policy decision on that it was going to cooperate fully, to the point where senior CIA officers gave them inappropriately classified briefings over a classified mock-up of the bin Laden compound. Okay, that's chargeable under the Espionage Act. The CIA just turned it over. Why?
It's not chargeable under the Espionage Act if you're the ones that control what is and isn't considered espionage.
That's a good point.
Yep.
Why? Because it made the CIA look good.
In real life, intelligence work is edgy, gruesome, and morally ambiguous. Mainstream TV and cinema don't need to be accurate. They just need to feel right and not leave the audience with too many lingering questions or ambiguity. They pick up on this exact.
By the way, I'm absolutely anti-CIA and whatnot due to their lack of transparency and all the damage they've inflicted on American citizens. I don't want you guys to get twisted. I don't give a fuck if they're out there fucking, like, giving swirlies to commies and brown people. I torture the non-Americans. Oh, dude, you want to fly to fucking Panama and cut some dude named Pedro's toes off so he can tell you where the drugs are? Go for it. I don't give a fuck. But you better not be shuttling those drugs back into America and putting them in black neighborhoods to drive the crime rate up to create a fucking race war.
Yeah. Don't just be doing it so you can get a discount price.
Right. Exactly.
Point in the podcast.
Even though they are torturing people. Now, entire population is so kind of almost like brainwashed into, but they are good guys, so torture is okay.
Right.
As long as good guys are doing it.
Well, that was the narrative.
And they've got so desensitized towards doing bad shit. And if it's the CIA or if it's Tom Cruise or if it's like Mission Impossible and they're doing bad shit and they're torturing people.
Tom Cruise would not be able to waterboard me. He's like the same size as Kato.
Yeah, he couldn't. He couldn't reach us. I think he's smaller than us.
That's okay.
Yeah, he is. I'm pretty sure Tom Cruise, is he 5'3"? Hold on.
I've seen those platform fucking shoes. He's not waterboarding us.
Google says 5'7". I'm pressing.
I'm calling bullshit.
I thought he was shorter.
I think he is. I think Tom Cruise is like 5'3" or 5'5" or something. He ain't no 5'7".
Hey, like now the message is that's okay. You don't worry about it.
So desensitization and controlling the narrative is central to this whole strategy. But there are deeper layers than promoting and suppressing films. The CIA's venture capital arm In-Q-Tel, literally named after Q from James Bond, has been funding tech companies since 1999. Google bought an In-Q-Tel funded mapping startup called Keyhole that became Google Earth. In-Q-Tel and Google then jointly invested in a company that builds predictive analytics by mining web data. Palantir was one of their earliest investments. The CIA had established an entire directorate of digital.
Palantir keeps coming up. Like, I'm seeing it everywhere. Like, what the?
It's because they're terrifying.
Yes.
We need to do an episode on Palantir, honestly.
Yeah, please do. Because, like, I find it everywhere. It's scary.
Palantir, BlackRock, all those.
But everyone gives Peter Thiel a pass because, he names his companies after Lord of the Rings stuff, so he's based and cool and red-pilled because Tolkien. That's not how it works, guys.
Yeah.
Hassan Piker could start a business tomorrow and call it the Shire Industries. That don't mean he's automatically based and truthful.
Or that he has your best interest in mind.
Right.
Specifically to engage Silicon Valley. So it's all linked together and practically operates in plain sight. Theo Von told Green a story about bumping into a construction worker at Century City Mall in LA.
Yo, what's up?
Wow.
So I start talking to him and he's like, dude, guess what we're building? I'm like, I don't know. I thought maybe it could have been like a Hardee's or something. He's like, we're building like a 20-story building. And 10 floors of it are the CIA, and the other 10 floors are a management company, Hollywood management.
Theo was mixing up the CIA and CAA, Creative Artists.
What? Not the first 10 floors are CIA.
Well, I think he's saying that Theo got his info wrong here, but I also wouldn't doubt that was true. So let's see what he has to say.
Agency, Hollywood's most powerful talent firm, but Green made it sound like the real thing was even worse.
And you go to that building, and they call it like the Death Star. There are like, politicians who are being represented by CAA, athletes, tech bros, influencers. It's pretty frightening though when you go inside. It's almost like Scientology, Hollywood's version of Scientology.
He's describing high-level ongoing talks at the intersection of the media, government, and big tech, all in a building lovingly called the Death Star. So
Lovingly called the Death Star.
See, this is
the Death Star. Sorry,
Yeah.
what was it, Cindy? I'm over here dying. Continue.
No, it's like that's a prime example of what you were saying. It's like just because they use a cool name from a series you love does not make them the good guys. Does not
by
make
the
it
way,
important.
By the way, shitheads, that's exactly what Sauron did. Look, he came in with something shiny and great and said, "Hey, follow me."
Banana Bomber King for a 5-banger. I have money in Palantir. You shut your dirty mouth about my cash cow.
We're
You
doomed.
didn't even spell Palantir correctly. Fucking monkey.
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
Although to be fair, no, he ain't wrong. That actually probably would be a pretty good investment. I might need to look into that actually.
You can now see how this whole influence campaign is far bigger than cutting lines in Marvel movies. It relies on cross-collaboration between multiple arms of state and private power, and the product hasn't stopped at the cinema. It's been actively following the audience, which means you, wherever you go, including online.
Do you think the CIA have a strategy for podcasters and for podcasting?
I think yes, now they do. It took them a little while to get current, but just like they over time developed a strategy with Hollywood, sure, they're developing a strategy with podcasters.
This strategy is consolidating as we speak, which will only make it easier for agencies like the CIA to wield greater control over the narratives. Larry Ellison, whose company Oracle now hosts TikTok US algorithm and controls its content moderation, just bought Paramount through his son David. And if their bid for Warner Bros. And Discovery goes through, you can...
And guess who they're in bed with?
Oh, I can't imagine.
They're in bed with Trump, who is in bed with Peter Thiel through JD Vance. Peter Thiel owns Palantir. It's all connected.
We're doomed.
Wait, is this why Trump suddenly went from hardcore to like super soft?
It's, in my opinion, definitely part of it. I think that it's definitely part of it.
Add CNN, HBO, Warner Brothers, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, MTV, Comedy Central, Discovery, TLC, TBS, and TNT to that list. An internal memo obtained by NPR confirmed the Ellison-led entity will control what's allowed and what's not on the platform. Bernie Sanders called it oligarchy. And Oracle, which sits underneath all of this, has held government contracts with the CIA and the Department of Defense for decades. Whatever you call it, the media pipeline is now shorter than it's ever been. And in fewer hands. There's a through line from Donald Duck selling war bonds to Captain Marvel. Selling Air Force recruitment to Google Earth, tracking your location has never been broken. The methods have evolved: direct propaganda, covert funding, script consultations, structural incentives, venture capital, and digital surveillance. But the principle itself hasn't changed. Get the message right, make sure it's repeated enough, and eventually nobody questions this anymore. And if you've seen what happens when someone steps outside that system, a screenwriter at the bottom of a canal with no hands, a researcher warned to back off before they ruin his life, maybe then you understand why so few people ever try. It's not a theory about Hollywood, but a description of what 60,000 pages of declassified documents confirm has already happened, and is still happening, to the stories you grew up on. The truth is, we simply don't know how deep this rabbit hole really goes, how much of the information-rich world around us is real, and how much is fake or...
Correct, because he was gonna... Alright, so he didn't bring this up, or at least he hasn't yet. I don't know if he will, but I will. It's not just movies. It can't be just movies. What is the biggest entertainment industry money-wise in the world?
Gaming.
Bingo, bango, bongo. You think the CIA is not involved in gaming? You think the CIA is not involved in the cultural exchange that has anime blowing up over here in America since about 2013 and onward?
True.
You know, why would they not have their influence in Japanese cultural exchange media? Why would they not have their influence in video games? Like people don't go to the theaters anymore. People don't buy and watch movies by and large. We already know they're investing in podcasting. Why would they stop at just podcasting?
They're most definitely involved in the AI stuff. Like, it collects so much information from you. It's crazy.
Correct.
Definitely kicked us off of YouTube that one day.
That is true as well.
Manipulated just enough to maintain a thin veneer of authenticity. Like we saw in this recent video we did on the CIA compromising podcasts, the rabbit hole truly goes deep. In any case, the strategies employed by the CIA and the government to influence the media are not theoretical, and they don't spend millions on them for no reason. So ask yourself, when you're next watching your favorite films and TV shows, can you really take them at value? If you think you can, ask yourself for how much longer do you think this will be the case?
Devil and Red X is something pretty interesting. Gamers and weebs are fighting back against the narrative and they hate it. And here's why. Gamers and weebs are a little bit different than the average American moviegoer because we've been primed to think of these big, large entities as the bad guys because they always are. Whether it be the Umbrella Corporation, whether it be Shinra, whether it be like one of the bad guys. So I don't remember the name of it in fucking Attack on Titan. Even though Attack on Titan is lame and gay. Like
Cyberdyne.
Is this why games are being attacked right now? And anime?
I mean, there's a million reasons, but this is one of many. Yes, this is absolutely one of many. This is why it's being attacked by the globalists. This is why you've got like politicians on both the left and the right saying video games cause violence 30 years after Columbine, despite every single study showing otherwise.
I do know trans definitely cause violence.
That was another thing that was government that was pushed by the government. Well, actually, it was pushed through the Jeffrey Epstein, his research stuff, then into the government. But that's here and there. That's a separate episode. But yes, trans people really do love murder. It's kind of odd how much trans people really fucking love murder.
They certainly do.
Yeah, Suck My Dick says we're a bit more alert and autistic about this stuff, and we aren't as normies as the general normies. Yeah, that's correct. Like, gamers and weebs are a different breed of autism. For real.
Yes.
They blamed ICP and Marilyn Manson for Columbine. Yep, they blamed them too. They blamed Doom. They blamed Duke Nukem. They blamed ICP. They blamed Marilyn Manson. Oddly enough, they didn't blame the trench coat companies that sold them the trench coats.
Yeah, they may not have, but there was a social stigma around them.
Yeah. I know that social stigma was there. I just thought that was gonna be a funny comment. Maybe it wasn't as funny as I thought it would be. Alrighty. So, go for it, Sammy.
No, I was gonna try and make another. I was gonna try and build off that joke, but it just wasn't gonna land. I was gonna say something about big trench coat and.
Big trench coat is fucking stupid. I love it. But yeah, basically, at the end of the day, I guess I had other sources and whatnot pulled up, but this video is actually so good. It covered everything I had in these other sources. So I don't really know that there's a reason to bring them up at this point. That being said, I mean, we've been going damn near an hour and a half. So I guess we'll just go ahead and start doing final thoughts and whatnot. Yeah, at this point, it is, guys, it's everything. It's not just movies. It's not just Hollywood. I mean, there is indisputable proof that the CIA for many years, has had a stranglehold on Hollywood. We have grown up not even realizing propaganda being fed to us in most instances. Now, again, extrapolate that to other mediums, podcasting, anime, video games, whatever. I'm sure if we dug enough, we can find proof for that as well. We know that governments are involved in gaming, maybe not as the CIA, but I mean, how many of these woke leftist bullshit faggot ass games get like funded with government tax dollars? What do we do, guys?
I don't know. I mean, and when you look, what was that? And it wasn't in America, but what was that video game that just came out in Britain? I think we watched it to help avoid.
Oh yeah, the one that Amelia came from. I don't know the name of the game. I just remember Amelia because she's based and hot and awesome.
It was like Fault Lines or something like that, or.
Damn it! What was that? Fuck! It's bothering me. I can't remember it, but we all remember Amelia, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is. Oh, go on. What were you gonna say?
No, Pathways.
Lithium. Yes, Pathways.
All paths lead to a hot goth mommy.
They did.
Facts. Okay, now the whole chat is going to Pathways. We got it. We made it there. Chillax, children. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing. There, you cannot. I'll give the CIA credit for this. They've got themselves one hell of a pipeline to where they've got this shit under lock and key. Like, as much as I make fun of how fucking incompetent and useless they are, you know, all the three-letter agencies, the FDA, the fucking the DOJ, the what's it called? The Department of the DOE, the FTA. Fuck the FTA, but CIA, they nailed it here. We've been raised for at least 3 generations now on the Psyop and propaganda, and all while they get to murder our own citizens and start illegal wars and tell us that don't worry, we're the good guys. It's sickening shit, and that's what this show is here to remind you of. Honestly, I'm probably gonna be called a Zionist after this because I didn't criticize the Jews enough. I don't like the Jews either, but like this is all the CIA. This ain't the Jews for once.
Okay.
They're so competent at propaganda that I can't even blame the fucking Jews. Sorry, go for it, Sammy.
No, okay. I always say this when it comes to the Jews because, like, the roads always lead back to the Jews. 2 things can be true at once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oy vey.
If no one likes the Jews, why do they have so much power? Holy crap.
I mean, a lot of people didn't like Hitler, but he had a lot of power.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm not
Alrighty, crew.
Taylor Swift.
We got any final thoughts? Cindy, what are your thoughts on this?
That is crazy. You have opened my eyes to yet another crazy set of rabbit holes that I am very much interested in.
I'm glad you call them rabbit holes and not conspiracy theories. Because then even a fucking theory, like it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm concerned about a lot of things, but no, this was definitely fascinating. Too many big words at the beginning, but then you had a good video to bring my attention back.
Happy to do it. Reading is gay, anyways. Sammy, what are your final thoughts on this?
Like I said, this is something that we've known for years, but this was a great, I guess, like document on it. I had no idea about that writer, and I
didn't know why that story was wild. Well, you say it's a thing we've known for years, and I think that you hit a nail on the head there, like whether intentionally or not. We as in humans have trouble conceptualizing like how deep or how far this goes until we can humanize it or anthropomorphize it or whatnot.
Yes.
And that's what videos like this do. Yeah, we might all know, oh, this shadowy cabal is CIA. They might have influence in Hollywood or whatnot. But when it gets constructed like this and it makes a character out of it, like you're like, oh, it's so much worse than I thought, but I have a clear picture in my head of it.
Yes, and and you're also seeing it in like real time, right? You're not just talking with your buddies and saying like, "Well, this is this." No, like we're seeing primo examples. You know, it's a different beast, but yeah, I've kind of believed shit like this since I was like 10, 12 years old, that, you know,
it's because I sort of have as well. And I remember how it started. I remember believing, and nobody told me this. I came to this conclusion on my own at like 9, 10, whatever age I was. I remember I was watching Men in Black was also one of my favorite movies. I fucking love Men in Black, right? And I remember at some point I'd seen the movie so many times, just clicked. I was like, what if the movie Men in Black is a cover for the fact that there is a real Men in Black out there, and they really are like aliens are walking among us, and they're using things like this to make us think, oh, it's fiction, when really if we think it's fiction, they can cover it up that much easier. It was like the conspiracy wheels were turning even when I was like 10 years fucking old, baby.
Yeah, I had I think I saw JFK way too young. But yeah, but I would always
I think I saw MJ way too young, but that turned out fine.
Oh my goodness.
No, but I'm saying, like, I kind of always in the back of my head going like, well, you know, it's like what George Carlin said, right? Like, there's a big club and you ain't in it. And I was like,
big
you know,
fucking club and we ain't in it. Yup.
You didn't diddle a kid. You can't be in it.
Not yet.
Sammy.
I might be running for office someday. Who knows?
Oh gosh.
There's nothing more cool than being hugged by someone you like. But if someone tries to touch you in a place or in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, you touch them back.
figured it had to be said. Our little PSA
Yeah.
for the evening. No, that was great.
by the way, that was a joke.
Sammy doesn't touch kids. He doesn't even touch his wife.
Goodness.
Alrighty. We've been rocking for about an hour and a half. I think it's time to bring this crazy train to the station. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna be raiding into Sevi, but before we do, I'll figure out who we're raiding over on Kick. Cindy, tell the people who you are, what you do, what you got going on, the whole 9.
Well, hey, cuties, I will hopefully be streaming later tonight, weather permitting. Tonight and tomorrow are going to be a little iffy, but it should be clearing up after that. I'm trying to debate on when to do a makeup stream, but I have no fucking clue. I will figure it out. But otherwise, yeah, you guys, I'm looking forward to hanging out. It's been a hell of a week already.
And I guess there's nobody else live on Kick
Sevi's
aside
live
from
on
Sevi,
Kick,
so
yeah.
we're rating her on Kick and on YouTube. So while I'm setting up the raids, yep, Sammy, you got anything? Tell me who you are, what you do, what you got coming up, the whole 9.
Sammy T. Pete, Detroit-based musician. I have Cavecast this Saturday, and if you guys are in the Detroit area, I'll be playing at the Old Miami. Just trying to build up more money. We should in like a couple shows.
So you're using your fake art for money. So you're a grifter. Are you the Nickelback of Detroit?
I hope. That would be great if we could start making Nickelback money. Then I wouldn't have to like play these little pissant shows to try and get enough time to pay for studio hours.
So
I don't like you said, I don't take that as a discount. I wish I were. My phone would be ringing a hell of a lot more. But but we've almost raised enough money to get back into the studio. Our goal was to do that by the middle of the year, and it looks like we're right on track to do so. So
nice.
Fuck yeah.
Congrats.
Guys, as for me, videos and streams almost every day. I don't know about a video for tomorrow, but I know for damn sure we are going to be doing the lunch hour because, bro, we got to cover the new Kami Mommy video. Like, Kami Mommy taking on Hassan Piker over Pragmata. We got to cover the new Kami Mommy video. We'll be talking about other stuff as well. I don't know what, but we'll talk about other stuff as well. So, lunch hour tomorrow, 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Videos and streams almost every day, except for Friday and onward, because I'm going to be out of town for the weekend, and I'm saying no to any and all streams, except for maybe a real late-night stream on Thursday, like doing a sort of pre-Neon Leon sort of thing. So, yeah, with that being said, we got one more super chat up in this bitch. My boy, Michael Doberman coming in with a 2-banger. Just got my Cine desk pad in the mail. Thanks. Fuck yeah. That's awesome. Way to go, homie. I appreciate all of you. You're all absolute legends. It means absolute loyal to me. You support, that you donate, that you engage in the chat, that you're all into the weird, wild shit that we are here, opening the eyes little by little. We're going to raid Sevi on both Kick and YouTube. So after the outro finishes, I want y'all to go over there and type Vital Idol Raid. And until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.